Thank you for joining us for War of the Worlds. This is part 2, though technically part 3 if you count the pre-show, which I do, for War of the Worlds, a Survivor Series style matchup between Ring of Honor, New Japan, and NXT. In our last part, we saw the meetings between the minor champions and the meetings between the tag team champions. Now we move into more tag team action as we see a tag team ladder match to secure one of the team's chances at challenging for the tag team championships in the next season of Universe Mode. The winner will have the opportunity to face their respective brands' tag team champions. As far as I know, I have been instructed that there are currently 6 competitors for this matchup. That would be 3 teams, of course 1 representative from each brand, and none of which being current champions. Coming down to the ring first is the team of the Synchronage between Lee Moriarty and Lio Rush. 2 men who have accomplished not quite as much as they would hope for here in Universe Mode. However, this is just the start of the journey for these 2 men. The impressive performances in the past on NXT for both men respectively in singles action have elected to team up in tag team action. And this will be our first taste of the capabilities of Lio Rush and Lee Moriarty as a collective unit here tonight. King of Taiga style and the man of the year, the man of the hour rather, electing to join forces in the attempt to achieve their goals of championship success in Universe Mode, which is, at the end of the day, pretty much the end goal of everybody here is to acquire a championship. The limitations on Universe Mode, despite this being 2k22 and the fact that 2K has had the franchise under their umbrella for 8 years and still has not really provided the depths that this mode is capable of. Seeing as that is the case, championship success is really the only goal set in mind for competitors here. Speaking of championship success, introducing next to the ring is the team of the Grizzled Young Veterans, being Zach Gibson and James Drake. In real life, outside of this video game, I must say the Grizzled Young Veterans are one of my favorite tag teams. They are definitely my top 3. Despite how despicable they both are, I find both of them to be such an incredible collective unit and involved in some of the most fun matches I've ever seen, such as the Blackpool NXT TakeOver Blackpool match with Mustache Mountain. Those 2 are so incredible, and they are former IWGP Tag Team Champions here in Universe Mode. Of course, they initially won the NXT Tag Team Championships. However, it was at the end of the previous season, so they only ended up holding those NXT championships for 8 days before being traded to New Japan, where they acquired the IWGP Tag Team Championships upon arrival and had to relinquish the NXT Tag Team Championships to Mustache Mountain. Introducing the final team in this competition, we're going to have American Alpha make their presence known, a team that very, very sadly, very unfortunately no longer exists, because I think that their potential was at the sky's limit. Of course, Jason Jordan suffering a career-threatening injury, wishes for him to recover soon. Of course, that was at this point several years ago, so I do hope that we will see Jason Jordan back in a wrestling ring again, because the chemistry that these 2 had was off the charts, and they had some incredible matchups with FTR. Now we know the representatives of each brand, that being the Grizzled Young Veterans on New Japan Pro Wrestling, Synchronage from NXT, as well as the final team being introduced, American Alpha, the representatives of Ring of Honor. We're getting the stage set for this ladder match to determine who will be the contender for the Tag Team Championships going into the next season. And we hear the entrance music now of them boys, the Briscoes, making their first ever appearance officially as a tag team here in Universe Mode, if that is them, and there they are! The Briscoes are here! One of the most legendary tag teams of all time, making their presence known here at War of the Worlds. Of course, this being the first ever introduction of the Briscoes as a tag team in Universe Mode, we do not know where their allegiance lies or what brand they will end up on. Though considering their ties to Ring of Honor, you got to think that they have a very strong chance at being a representative of Ring of Honor. I believe either Jay or Mark Briscoe, I can't quite remember which one, was involved in the NXT Rumble at the conclusion of last year's season. However, never at no point in Universe Mode have we seen the collective tag team of the Briscoes here. And what a treat we are getting here tonight. I thought that it was only going to be a 6-man, or a 3-team rather, ladder match. However, the introduction of the Briscoes has thrown a monkey wrench into the plans of the competitors. See everyone unloading on one another into the inside of the ring. Too much is going on right now to even really call the action, but you see for yourselves all of the competitors squaring off with one another inside of the ring here. See Lee Moriarty here taking down Jay Briscoe with a tremendous crossbody. The velocity with which Jay Briscoe was catching off of those ropes was tremendously impressive. Lee Moriarty is going to continue to keep the fight up against Jay Briscoe, whereas we see Zach Gibson positioning Mark Briscoe on that top rope. The Briscoes not really faring too well in their first few moments here. Sunset flip powerbomb to the outside from Lio Rush, delivering that maneuver on Jason Jordan. I thought that was Chad Gable. Standing Spanish fly there from Lio Rush. Michinoku driver from Lio Rush. And that finally sends Chad Gable to the outside. Lio Rush now going to be the one to send James Drake to the outside, picking up some steam. Tope con hello to the outside on James Drake. Tremendous elbow drop as we saw there from Mark Briscoe. Fans chanting, "This is awesome." Springboard to the inside as we see Lio Rush taking down Jay Briscoe. Explorer suplex from Mark Briscoe now. Oh, and the second that Chad Gable returned to the inside of the ring, he was met with that forearm smash. Absolutely no opportunity there to even get out of the gates. On the inside of the ring now we see, I believe that is Mark Briscoe, torture rack flat out, I guess, I don't know, gory bomb to Mark Briscoe. Takes him down with a tremendous kick now, does Lee Moriarty. Man, that we have not quite seen enough of here in Universe Mode as far as I'm concerned. I'm a big fan of Lee Moriarty and would love to see him pick up the victory here tonight to continue Lio Rush and Moriarty's involvement in Universe Mode. Heading into the next season, they could earn themselves a tag team matchup for the championships of their choosing. And of course, it is very tough to determine right now where upon which each competitor is going to end up, because we haven't held the draft. Well, I have held the draft for 2K22. Neckbreaker taking down Mark Briscoe on top of that ladder. Now Jay Briscoe is going to be met in the middle of the ring from Lio Rush. Twisting Unprettier. Rolling over with a full rotation. A beautiful maneuver. Following that up with the Sister Abigail into the DDT. Now Zach Gibson. Final cut. Twisting Brainbuster onto Lio Rush. Saw a suplex attempt there from Moriarty. Now the torture rack onto the ladder from Mark Briscoe. Competition on both sides of the ring, as Jay Briscoe getting the advantage now on Lio Rush. Chad Gable returning to the inside of the ring. At the top of the ladder, we see trying to pull down the prize there was Jason Jordan. Instead, he receives an electric chair combination with an elbow drop from Lio Rush and Jay Briscoe. Now it's Mark Briscoe with possession of that ladder, looking to take advantage of it. Jay Briscoe climbs to the top rope while Mark Briscoe is handling hardware on the inside. Jay Briscoe gonna dive to the outside onto Chad Gable with a tremendous elbow drop to a standing Chad Gable. Rewind Rana from Lee Moriarty takes down Zach Gibson, crunching his head inside of the ladder. Popping up for that Frankensteiner was Moriarty. You see Mark Briscoe on the outside now. Moriarty looking to dive down on Mark Briscoe, but Briscoe going to check up on his brother for the time being instead. Now the ladder being positioned on the inside, and Chad Gable looking to make a mad dash for it. Series of strikes, however, from Moriarty. Gable's met at the top of that ladder with his James Drake. Pulled down is Chad Gable. On the opposite side, Jason Jordan doing the honors of taking down Zach Gibson from his position, or James Drake from his position. Jason Jordan sent to the outside. Lee Moriarty diving heel kick levels Chad Gable and looks to climb up to the top, but Gibson now with the advantage. The Grizzled Young Veterans reigning supreme inside of the ring now. Hammerlock DDT combination with a forearm smash from James Drake, and James Drake now going to be the one to look to take the contract down and capture the victory for his team, for the Grizzled Young Veterans. And considering that they were former IWGP Tag Team Champions, you got to think that they want to get back to that degree of success here. And Mark Briscoe desperately fighting James Drake off of that contract, and so close was James Drake to taking it down, but the interference being run. There's so many competitors, so many obstacles, and so many different possibilities in this matchup. Lio Rush was trying to hold on to that contract above, but when he dropped down, Zach Gibson caught him in a powerbomb. Moriarty now sent to the outside. Chad Gable takes down Lee Moriarty. James Drake on the outside looking to take advantage here. Implant DDT. Series of strikes from Mark Briscoe, who's looking to take the advantage on Jason Jordan. Receives a DDT for his efforts on the outside, planting him face first. Regal cutter there from Moriarty. And Gable getting back up to his feet, looks to maintain possession of the ladder. However, Moriarty wisened up to it and dishes out a neckbreaker. Meanwhile, on the outside of the ring now, we see Jason Jordan positioning a ladder between the barricade and the ring in hazardous territory. But if you set it up, it is a likely chance that you'll go through it, as Mark Briscoe power bombs him through the ladder bridge on the outside. Meanwhile, being positioned on the top rope by Zach Gibson is Lee Moriarty. Lio Rush returning to the fray as he looks to hit the swinging reverse STO into the DDT. Rolling on prettier to Zach Gibson from Lio Rush. Now we see Moriarty on the top rope. Could be looking for a diving attack, but on who? So many potential candidates, and James Drake receives the drop kick from the top rope. Now we see Chad Gable. Oh, headbutt from Mark Briscoe. Chad Gable muscling up Jay Briscoe from the outer apron. And in the process, taking him over with that suplex, landing senton position on top of James Drake. Multitude of maneuvers being utilized by Chad Gable there. We see Moriarty once more climbing to the top rope, which is a position we've seen him in a lot in this contest. Diving double stomp to Jay Briscoe for good measure. Zach Gibson looked to obtain possession of that ladder. However, Moriarty able to run interference. Lio Rush looking to take out Zach Gibson before he can send Moriarty to the outside. Spanish Fly from Lio Rush. James Drake now going to look to set up the ladder here. Series of stomps to Jay Briscoe in the meantime. Lio Rush now with such haste looking to climb up to the top of the ladder. Desperately looking to pull down the contract, but James Drake is the one who pushes over the ladder in combination with Zach Gibson, who catches him in that electric chair once more. Zach Gibson, hammerlock DDT to Chad Gable. Jay Briscoe comes to on the apron and returns to the inside, the confines of the ring. Running Death Valley Driver. Jason Jordan diving from the top with an elbow drop onto Mark Briscoe. Action in this matchup moving a mile a minute. Lio Rush laying out where he was, laying out Zach Gibson exactly where he was. Sunset flip to the outside, power bomb this time on Jay Briscoe. We see Lio Rush ascending to the top rope. Diving down, drop kick to the back of Zach Gibson. Rewind Rana to Mark Briscoe, and he might have connected with that ladder on his way down as well. Lio Rush now. Reverse European uppercut that sends James Drake crashing into that turnbuckle pad. Now we see Jason Jordan obtaining possession of the ladder. Could be looking to utilize it to climb. Obtain success here. If he can do so, American Alpha or Lio Rush now being the ones to climb to the top, but the viciousness of Chad Gable to send Lio Rush from the top of the ladder all the way crashing down to the floor. On the outside, we just saw Zach Gibson connect with the final cut once more on Mark Briscoe. Helter Skelter twice in a row. And again, could he be looking for the Helter Skelter? 3 in a row from Zach Gibson to Mark Briscoe. Jason Jordan now with the ladder on the inside, taking it to everybody with a pulse. Ladder being sent to the outside. Now Jason Jordan receiving a dive for his efforts. Now being sent off of the ropes. Regal cutter once more from Leo Moriarty. Climbing to the top rope now is Lio Rush. Rush looked to dive down with that Hurricane Rana as Zach Gibson looked to dive with a clothesline to the outside on Mark Briscoe as well. Mark Briscoe on the outside. Turns Zach Gibson around. A fist to the face. He's tucking something in his pants, perhaps utilizing some brass knuckles to his advantage or some kind of enhancement. Now Mark Briscoe with Zach Gibson on the outside, looking for the burning hammer variation, laying him out rather than dropping him on his head. Meanwhile, everyone distracted. This could be Chad Gable's opportunity, climbing up the ladder here. Lee Moriarty looking to run interference, perhaps. And Chad Gable pulls the contract down. That means that American Alpha have secured themselves a tag team championship matchup in the future season of Universe Mode. Chad Gable has to be proud of his performance here tonight as he captured the contract. There we saw the Helter Skelter being utilized by Zach Gibson, as well as here the Burning Hammer. Neckbreaker from Jay Briscoe on the outside. Hurricanrana takedown from Lee Moriarty. Incredible showcase for all of these teams here tonight, but American Alpha walks away with the victory, and they will move on to inevitably face whoever the tag team champions may be when 2K22 rolls around. Our next matchup features technically the minor championships of each show, respectively the Triple Crown Championship, the Ring of Honor Television Championship, and currently coming to the ring, the NXT North American Champion, the American Dragon Bryan Danielson, coming down to the ring. Bryan Danielson only being the second man to ever hold the NXT North American Championship in Universe Mode. Of course, he wrestled an incredible contest in order to take that championship away from the first ever champion, Drew Gulak, who held onto that championship for 266 days, up until Daniel Bryan's current 112-day reign with the NXT North American Championship. Coming down to the ring next is the representative from Ring of Honor, the active Ring of Honor Television Champion, the Last Dragon Shingo Takagi. Shingo has been a reigning champion, having held that Ring of Honor Television Championship since his victory over Will Ospreay 126 days ago. In doing so, Shingo has brought a new degree of respect to Ring of Honor and to that championship. Some incredibly hard-fought victories in the past. His matchup with Hiromu Takahashi comes to mind that he had at Death Before Dishonor, a matchup a long time in the making, seeing as the conflict between Los Ingobernables de Japón has been well documented in Universe Mode. Of course, the feud between Naito and Andrade Almas, concluding with Naito's departure from Universe Mode, as well as Andrade taking over the faction, and that degree of success has brought him to be the current Ring of Honor World Champion and the former Mr. Money in the Bank. And introducing lastly in this contest, it is the current New Japan Pro Wrestling Triple Crown Champion, a man who defeated Tommaso Ciampa during his second reign with that championship on the conquest to defeat all of the luchadors here in Universe Mode, he could not get past the greatest luchador that ever lived, being Rey Mysterio. And Rey Mysterio acquired the Triple Crown Championship for himself. Of course, actually, Daniel Bryan is a former Triple Crown champion himself, being the second man to ever win that championship, defeating Cassius Ohno. That was a very, very long time ago in Universe Mode. That was in 2k18 for my first season. It was the time when Daniel Bryan had initially held that Triple Crown championship. And we see Daniel Bryan immediately charging after Rey Mysterio across the ring, receives a dropkick for his efforts. Back kick from Shingo now. Two men looking to meet in the middle of the ring. Falcon Arrow, he did the deal to Rey Mysterio, as now Daniel Bryan going to wrestle him down. Mysterio taunting in the corner. Daniel Bryan taking advantage of that with a German suplex out of the corner. Rey Mysterio looking to come to here. Reversal on Bryan. Back heel kick countered by Bryan, sidestepped almost, and a knee to the face of Rey Mysterio. In the meantime, Shingo looking to come in with that clubbing strike. Now reversing Daniel Bryan, taking him down with that lariat. Pinfall attempt there. Powerbomb facebuster from Daniel Bryan, a maneuver that we're not used to seeing from him here. Perhaps looking to switch up his style, and that's what he's going to have to do in this clash of styles here. This triple threat contest is such a unique matchup for these three competitors. Lariat takedown from Shingo Takagi. Stomps to the midsection of Daniel Bryan in order to turn him over in position for that gut-wrench suplex. Looking to pop him up perhaps for a spine buster, but Rey Mysterio catching Shingo with a DDT on his way down to drill his head into the canvas. As mentioned just a minute ago, such a unique matchup here that we have. Everyone in this contest has a different kind of style that they bring to professional wrestling. You could say that Rey Mysterio would be traditionally the high flyer. You could say that Daniel Bryan would traditionally be the mat technician. And you would say traditionally that Shingo Takagi is the brawler. However, when you see what each of these competitors bring to the table, it is very obvious that they bring far more than a bare bones explanation of their style to the table. Rey Mysterio now connecting with a trifecta of suplexes. Oh, and the diving knee smash from Daniel Bryan takes Rey Mysterio out, and Rey Mysterio desperately needing to roll to the outside following that. That it was a lethal procedure delivered by Daniel Bryan. Following those three amigos, you got to think that Rey Mysterio, very much so worse for wear, very much so on the worse end than Shingo Takagi. But Shingo connecting with that buckle bomb on Daniel Bryan returns him to shift the momentum into his favor for the time being. Rey Mysterio now going to return to the inside of the ring as Shingo looked to pick him up for a power slam. Rey Mysterio creating the separation, dropping Daniel Bryan all the way down to the ground. Flipping up for a Hurricane Rana position. Shingo Takagi across the ring. 619. He dialed it up. Before Rey Mysterio could take advantage, Daniel Bryan returning to maintain offense there with that Tiger suplex. Just quickly, so evasive, able to maneuver his way to that position. We see Daniel Bryan being the one to take Shingo Takagi, spring him off of the ropes, and takes him down with a suplex. Rey Mysterio taunting to the fans here, turns around, gets a kick to the face for his efforts. Rey Mysterio now recovering in the corner, and Daniel Bryan going to go after him. Boots to the face wash to Rey Mysterio. Now Daniel Bryan desperately calling for Rey Mysterio to get back up to his feet here, if Rey can even do so. There we see Rey Mysterio creating the separation that he needed in the corner, coming up short on that drop kick, and a rewind Rana from Daniel Bryan. Maneuver we're not used to seeing. Shingo looked to come running in. Great deal of velocity is caught with that kitchen sink from Daniel Bryan. That is a tremendous maneuver to utilize when your opponent is coming at you full tilt. Lariat ducked by Bryan, now connects with a sheer drop brainbuster. Rey Mysterio thought he was coming to for the time being, but now we see the grounded yes kicks. Ooh, kick to the face to finish off Rey. Daniel Bryan now sending Shingo across the ring and into the turnbuckle pad there. Shingo looks to send Daniel Bryan to the outside, but brings him back in for a power slam. Gesturing to the crowd now does Shingo. Clothesline takedown, second clothesline from Shingo there. Look to follow it up with that calf kick, but Bryan Danielson able to sidestep. Back elbow there from Shingo. Front chancery here from Danielson. However, before he could take advantage, Rey Mysterio connecting with a dropkick on both men, allowing Shingo Takagi to go for the pinfall attempt there. This being an elimination matchup, Rey Mysterio just watching on as Shingo went for the pinfall. Reversal now from Danielson. Now Rey Mysterio gains some momentum, running off of the ropes and driving the leg across Shingo Takagi, who was draped across that middle rope. Now we see Bryan Danielson locking Rey Mysterio in the label lock, and a quick submission from Rey Mysterio before he could even attempt to crawl to the ropes. Bryan Danielson has submitted the current Triple Crown champion, Rey Mysterio. Fire it up. Danielson now looking to go to the outside of the ring after Shingo Takagi, after the decimation of Rey Mysterio. Rey got caught up in the label lock, and that was it for him. Roaring forearm smash from Danielson there, countered by Shingo. I see a spinning heel kick from Danielson. Danielson will do anything it takes to bring viciousness and brutality to his opponents. And as we saw there, a chair shot across the face of Shingo Takagi. Of course, this being a triple threat contest, there is no disqualification. However, Shingo turning the tides with that Death Valley driver. Series of back elbow attempts there from Shingo. However, it is Danielson who sends him into that ring post. Face first. Now Danielson returning the action back to the inside of the ring. Danielson, for his efforts, grabbing hold of a kendo stick now. Of course, again, triple threat contest, so there is no disqualification here. Cracking that across the back of Shingo twice, connecting with that kendo stick, and Bryan maintaining the full advantage in this contest. Now has positioned Shingo in the corner, in position to choke him out with a kendo stick. Referee might want to step in here and intervene just for the well-being and the wherewithal of Shingo to continue in this matchup. Now looks to take him down with that arm wringer, however, countered by Danielson. Switching to the outside, half and half suplex. And a stomp to the arm following that tiger. It was rather a tiger suplex. But a lot of damage being done to the arms here of Shingo Takagi. Shingo now look to position Bryan on the outside. However, Shingo being brought back from the apron to the inside. Danielson, what could he be looking for here as he escapes to the outside of the ring? However, he is going to climb the top rope, ascending to the top. Fingers in the air, diving headbutt from the top. Now we see Danielson calling Shingo back up to his feet here, running in. Perhaps was looking for the knee plus, but threw him off with the label lock. Bryan typically goes to the corner to charge up for the knee plus. However, that time we saw the unique offense of Daniel Bryan able to turn that run into a label lock where he was able to grab hold and manipulate the wrist into doing so. Now sends Shingo into the guardrail here. And Danielson just gonna gloat, just gonna gesture to the crowd rather. Danielson waiting for Shingo to get back to his feet, back to the inside of the ring. Instead, Danielson diving to the outside, but Shingo just barely out of reach for Danielson on that plancha to the outside, and Shingo going to take full advantage of that by sending him face first into the apron now. Fireman's carry muscles him up into that military press. Diving down with that missile drop kick, comes up short, and Shingo looks to take advantage with a pinfall now. Unsuccessful again. Series of strikes here from Danielson sends him into the turnbuckle, looking for that running drop kick, but Shingo sidesteps, back elbow that sends Danielson into the turnbuckle pad, and once more Shingo going to look to connect with that buckle bomb. Connects, and he does. Shingo now being the one to send Danielson up and over the ropes to the outside. Once more returning to the outside of the ring. Before Danielson could take the advantage, Shingo answers back with that shoulder tackle. Now wrenching on the arm of Danielson. Arm wringer attempt, taken down rather by Danielson. Able to trip out the leg with that drop toe hold. Hatch suplex now from Danielson, able to capitalize here. Series of strikes to the midsection now. Shingo going to rebound Danielson off of the ropes, connects with that lariat. Nearly decapitating Danielson with that maneuver. However, Danielson once more fighting to get the shoulder up. Lifting inverted DDT attempt there from Shingo. Danielson utilizing the ropes to pull himself back up to his feet, and Shingo sees that and connects with that kitchen sink that sends Danielson between the ropes and to the outside. Power slam position from Shingo. Snake eyes across the apron as we feel the momentum shifting back in favor of Shingo in this contest now. Danielson being sent to the inside by Shingo. Now working over the arm again in this contest. Does Danielson clothesline takedown. Tremendous velocity picked up off of that exchange. And now Danielson positioning powerbomb to Shingo Takagi. Pinfall attempt here too. And Shingo just desperately getting the shoulder up at the last second. I see a standing switch in the corner as Shingo looked to take advantage. However, butterfly suplex countered by Shingo now with an arm drag. Danielson looked to recover there, but unable to do so before Shingo could take advantage. Lifts him up. Death Valley driver in the neck of Danielson, coming down hard in the ring. Pinfall attempt from Shingo here. My God, Shingo! Shingo picked up the victory with that Death Valley driver. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting the match to end there. Okay, in reality, I had resiliency. I should have used it. I messed up. I know. Incredible contest, however, between these three competitors. Rey Mysterio eliminated kind of in the early goings of that contest by Bryan Danielson the minute that he applied that label lock. Rey was forced to tap out. However, we see Shingo Takagi picking up the final victory, the final say in this contest after defeating Bryan Danielson with that Death Valley driver. The Ring of Honor Television Champion reigns over. Next up, we will see the women's champions from each respective brand go at it with one another. Coming to the ring first, we see the active IWGP Women's Champion that will be in 2K22, rebranded to the IWGP Joshi Championship. Current champion being Meiko Satomura. Having held that championship for 64 days, she defeated Io Shirai. Of course, there have only been 2 women to have held the IWGP Joshi Championship, and that would be Io and Meiko. So only Japanese competitors have had their hands on the Women's Championship since its rebranding. However, preliminary to that, this was one of the most protected championships in Universe Mode, having only had 6 women, or 6 reigns prior to Meiko. All of which ellipsing 100 days up until Io Shirai's opportunity to hold the championship. And next we see the Pirate Princess, the Women of Honor champion, who will become the AEW Women's Champion upon the start of WWE 2K22. Introducing, this is Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane, the only championship that she has acquired throughout Universe Mode, that being the Women of Honor Championship. However, doing so by defeating one of the greatest women's champions in Universe Mode history, and that would be Ember Moon. It is worth mentioning that the SmackDown / Women of Honor Championship has not really been as well guarded as the Raw Championship. However, during the time that Ember Moon and Asuka were holding the championships concurrently, Asuka did manage to hold on to that SmackDown Women's Championship at the time for 407 days. That was followed by an 180-day run by Io Shirai. As the current champion, we saw defeating Ember Moon and holding that championship currently for 42 days is Kairi Sane. And lastly, being introduced into this matchup, she is the man, and she is the current NXT Women's Champion, dethroning the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion in Universe Mode history, that being Bull Nakano, who held the championship for 252 days. Becky Lynch acquired that championship 50 days ago, and ever since then, at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, ever since then has claimed that the NXT Women's Division is her division to run. Becky is fired up here tonight, and she is ready to take on the other two women in this contest. Match starts, and we see Mako and Becky Lynch squaring off in the center of the ring. Tremendous power slam from Becky Lynch. She now tees off on Kairi Sane, sends her into the ropes. Counter on that kick from Kairi. Back and forth chops now between the two. Mako is just going to watch the two of them settle their differences. Backpack facebuster from Becky Lynch. As Mako looks for the kick to the midsection, however, countered by Becky. Becky really maintaining the advantage over both women here with that hatch suplex, but now a snap German suplex to Becky Lynch is going to send her reeling for the time being from Kairi Sane. Kairi now going back after Mako. However, Mako countering with a knee to the midsection, following it up with a sick kick. Combination from Becky Lynch attempted there. I believe that this matchup will also be contested under elimination rules. Now we see a crucifix pin attempt from Kairi Sane on Mako Satomura, looking for the pinfall attempt, but unsuccessful in putting away Mako there. Looking to run in, but Mako slipping out from that maneuver, looking for the lariat now on Kairi. Series of strikes to answer back. Arm drag to Mako Satomura that sends her reeling. Snap German suplex to follow it up to make sure that Mako stays down for the time being. Kairi going back after Becky Lynch and driving that elbow across the chest of Becky from a reverse DDT position. Now Kairi once more going to send Becky Lynch into the turnbuckle pad. Turned around, and now Mako going to look to connect with the 10 count punches to Kairi Sane up to 7, 8, and before she can get to 8, Kairi pushes her off. Becky Lynch, however, distracted by gloating to the fans. Hurricane Rana takedown from Kairi Sane as Becky Lynch shoves off Kairi Sane from that maneuver. Series of strikes. Now, with control of Becky Lynch, Kairi Sane looking to reposition her across the ropes, and an overhand chop across the chest of Becky. Kick to the midsection, followed with a low roundhouse from Mako. Now going to look to go after the legs. She puts her foot across the ankle of Kairi and then drops the knee across her entire leg. Follows it up. That spinning back heel kick does Mako. And the reversal on Becky Lynch, where she is able to evade whatever Becky Lynch had in mind with that arm wringer. Death Valley driver now from Mako Satomura. Looks for the pinfall attempt, but a quick kick out from Becky Lynch as she receives the rope break. European uppercut. Now Mako being ping-ponged between Becky and Kairi. Kairi looking for a Destino! Standing front drop kick too. Becky Lynch levels her. Becky Lynch, however, able to get back up to her feet in very quick fashion. Hurricane Rana takedown. Mako in the way. However, basement slide. Follows it up with a Hurricane Rana on Becky Lynch. Gourd Buster now to Mako Satomura that plants her out. Does Kairi Sane. Now Becky being sent into the turnbuckle pad here. Kairi clearly with something in mind as she signifies to the crowd that she's going after Becky, who was looking for that interceptor spear in the corner, I believe. And now she receives it, looks to climb to the top rope for her efforts, but Becky takes her down. Now Becky working over the arm of Mako Satomura, perhaps warming her up for the disarm her at some point in this contest. Snap German suplex again on Becky Lynch, but again Becky gets to the ropes. Forearm smash from Becky. Sitting out with that Falcon Arrow does Kairi Sane, and hooking the leg of Becky Lynch as she attempted that pinfall attempt there. Meiko Satomura looks to get involved. Now a series of strikes back and forth between the two women. Backhand chop from Kairi Sane. Counter from Meiko Satomura. And a snap suplex from Meiko as she looks to quickly float over into the pinfall attempt here. And a near fall on the 2 count. Not a tremendous amount of pinfall attempts here so far. Meiko now running into the corner to gain advantage as Kairi comes running into those double knees, following it up with a missile dropkick. Becky Lynch has recovered for the time being. Meiko looks to dive into the corner with that elbow smash, but Kairi wisened up to it, able to escape out of the way. Series of strikes now. Kairi answers back to Meiko. Double team offense here, double side effect from Becky Lynch and Meiko Satomura on Kairi Sane. Perhaps looking to take out a common threat here are the two women. Now we see sent out to the apron but brought back in at the hands of Becky Lynch. Near fall there from Becky. She looks to put away Kairi Sane but cannot do so. Pinfall attempt here from Becky. Backpacks facebuster again from Becky, this time being utilized on Meiko. Now the pinfall attempt here. Running neck snap now from Becky. Repeated pinfall attempts here. As once again she's going to look to cover Meiko. Kairi Sane now taking the advantage by trying to send Becky Lynch into the turnbuckle pad. Arm wringer reversal from Kairi. Kairi connects with a running Dragon Rana, quickly looking to secure the pinfall attempt here, and that was pretty unexpected coming from Kairi Sane. Meiko now looks to take advantage, however Kairi connects with that running elbow strike to the face. Now looking to climb up to the top rope does Kairi. Could be looking for the insane elbow. Pinfall attempt here. 1, 2, 3. Connecting with the elbow and receiving the pinfall on Meiko Satomura. As Becky Lynch just a hair away from breaking up that pin. But Kairi Sane, the Woman of Honor champion, picking up the victory with that elbow drop to Meiko Satomura. I thought this match was elimination. However, it appears that Kairi Sane's one fall to a finish was able to pick up the victory in tremendous fashion. Kairi is pumped after her victory, and she will all of these women will continue into the next season as the women's champion and the representative of their brand, all relatively recently acquiring those championships, continuing to set their mark on their division. Kairi Sane is at the top of the Woman of Honor.